Well, welcome everybody. This is the Sunday wrap up. I hope you enjoyed our show yesterday. Had a lot of fun. It's pretty enlightening. A lot of things I didn't know about molding and things, and we're going to get a few things accomplished in the near future. Today, what I'm doing is well, first off, I'm going to hinge the elevator stabilizer. And yesterday, when I was off camera, you guys couldn't see it because I was behind the camera yesterday. I cut out those ribs for the landing gear in the wing, and we'll show you how to install those. I mean, it's not a big deal, but in these trying times when there's nothing to watch, might as well watch the sandpaper whisperer. Can't remember that guy's name, Bob. I just said it this morning. Oh. The guy who did the painting. Well, I'm the guy who does the sanding. Anyway, let's take a look at this other piece here. Hey, Tim. Hey, no problem. Are you stopping by today or what? One of the reasons why it was the best show that I've ever done is I was running the camera and somebody else was doing the work. Here, I'm like that guy. Let me see what that guy's name was. Ed Sullivan. Let me look here real quick. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I search this guy's name. I am the guy. I ought to put a Ed, Sullivan. Sullivan Show. That's him right there. I'm the Heinrich. Let's see, what is this guy?
Right now, it's time for our first performer.
I'm the Heinrich Broke. Oh, plate 3. Yeah, Heinrich Brode. Spinning the plates. Got to be spinning the plates, and you keep going like that. Well, that's what I got to do when I'm doing these videos. Gotta get before the excitement's hoping. Well, I don't know where you buy it at because everything's closed. But thanks for the thought. Okay. Let's get back to work instead of talking about crazy, stupid stuff. But I'm the Bob Ross of sanding and the plate spinner of video editing. So the reason why yesterday's show was so good is because I had help. I wasn't having to do the show. I was doing the editing and the filming and the camera. I mean, it was a little difficult, but monitoring the audio and those things. And the other guys did the work. So that helps a lot. So that's why I always say I need a 12-year-old because a 12-year-old could do this better than I could do it. This part, the running of this. Anyway, let's get back to work. We're going to. I've changed up on my Tucker. I did not put horn clips in the elevator stabilizers. I just drilled the holes and sunk the wires in there. Well, yeah, that works and it saves weight, but I think this time I'm going to put the horn clips on, but we have to do a few things first. Yesterday, one of these tips got broke off. One of the tips there, that tip right there got broke off. And I glued a new one on and sanded it. Now it's been CA'd, so we shouldn't have that problem. I'll probably get some carbon fiber on those tips about the time I get ready to start finishing. Those tips look really cool, but my suggestion is don't put them on there. I like them on there because nobody has them. You're more than welcome to put them on there, but you'll be sorry because they will break off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this wire down. You don't need all that wire going from the trailing edge all the way to the trailing edge of the stab. So let's see, where are them cutters? I have invested in a good pair of wire cutters. These are made by Nifex. It's a German outfit. You leave about an inch of wire, and that's plenty. And yeah, I just eyeball it. You don't need to be exact. We're not building a watch or a bridge. Now, these cutters will cut 1/8" music wire, but you better have some strength. Okay, this is 332, but they will cut 8 because I've done it. Now the next thing on my hinging system is, let's see, I'm going to mark this again so I don't lose it. This is 1. And this is 1. Thank you, Greg. All right, we have to, if you'll notice here on this horn, I put in the eyelets for the hinges before we bent them. Because if you bend that, you can't get the eyelet around that corner. So put the eyelets on first. And then we're going to look for the mysterious hinge box, which disappeared, of course. Unbelievable. I know it's here. There it is. I like that ruler John made me. That's pretty good. One thing you guys gotta think about, you know, John made me a ruler, and Dan gave me a bell crank mold. Well, I have a plotter, so I plot their stuff and, you know, give them hinges, whatever. You can't do this all by yourself. So back in the day, wow, this thing, I'm going to need a new container. Back in the day, everybody kept everything to themselves. That ain't no good. And that's the reason that I'm doing these videos. I'm not going to be around forever. I'd like to be, but that just ain't going to happen. And when I'm gone, what I've learned goes with me. Okay, finger drill. So if it's out here on YouTube, hopefully it'll stay forever. Supposedly the internet's forever. Let's tweak this a little bit. So I'm drilling an 1/8-inch hole in this hinge. Dan and I were talking this morning about molding these out of carbon fiber, which maybe will happen. We can figure out how to do it. I just figured it out. Hey, Dan, if you want to call me later after the show, I just figured out how to mold all these hinges. We'll mold 24 at a time, whatever. It'll take some work, but whatever. It all takes work. So anyway, you want to put this hinge on over the top of this. Now the 1/8-inch hole should go around the bend, no problem. Yeah, it did, see? Well, if you notice that little grommet there, I put the flange to the outside so I could get it to slip right on there, which it does. And then we'll get a drop of CA on it. And a small bit get in there, but no big deal. It'll work itself out. The Bob Ross of balsa. Now this little trick here, what I'm doing here, should probably go on the hinging video, but I glued my fingers. And I also glued the damn hinge on there. I'm gonna have to do it again. Because it glued my finger on there, it got stuck. Okay. We show the mistakes on my channel because there's lots of them. Part about being a competent modeler, mechanic, welder, fitter, fabricator, whatever, is when you make a mistake, knowing how to carry on, how to repair it, and just carry on. You know, you got to correct the mistake. But one of the things that a lot of guys do is they don't correct the mistake before they move on. They just move on, and then when they get to the end, they go, shit, I made a mistake about 40 steps back there. Yow, got hot again. Okay. You know, I'm not quite sure that it has to have these, but ever since I started doing this is how I've done it. I got to work it in because it's got glue in it. You can have no bind on these. This is the stuff I mentioned in a couple of videos. This is dry slide. It's motorcycle cable lubricant. You know what? I don't like that, how it's glued in there anyway. I'm going to break that out and put a different one on. We'll get a new one and put it in there. Maybe not hit it with so much kicker because that kicker spread the CA. That's what did it. Okay. You see what it did? When I kicked it, it blew the CA out back up onto it, and that's why it glued my fingers. I had, I guess, too close with the CA pressure. Not like a pump bottle, it's under pressure. So we'll step back a little bit from that. Interesting. Interesting. What I meant by interesting is that grommet went around that corner. Won't go around this corner. That's good. That's okay. All this stuff's a lot of tinkering. Okay, that's how free it should be. So, got that one. Do it here. You guys saying yesterday's show was better because I wasn't in it? I have the face for radio. Okay. Come on now, let's see if we can get away with doing this without screwing up again. I think it might have a catastrophic lockup. I think I just got a little bit in there. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Yep. Now this is important to get this on here first before you start laying everything out. God, it's still tight. I don't want it that tight. I knew I got a little bit in that bearing. There we go. So I'll put a little dry slide on it. This thing has a ball bearing inside it. That shakes the graphite up. Put a little bit here. Only takes a drop. No need to make a giant mess of it. Still a little tight. Good afternoon, Christopher. Okay, that's that'll work in. That's good enough. I used to go through about one of those bottles a month on motorcycles, but that bottle is $28, and that should last 3 lifetimes for model airplanes. So that's close enough. Okay, now right on the center line of this, we're going to do a center using the finger method. Now, the turn is 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to, and here again, this is not rocket science. You don't have to be with a micrometer and be exact or whatever. I'm just going to eyeball about 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch on the center line of the wing of the stab away from the center and drill a hole. About 1 inch deep. So 2 holes. Here again, this doesn't have to be perfect. What I did on the Tucker and on the big Tucker is I measured exactly how far the fuselage sides were out, and I put those hinges in that spot, and they set right on the fuselage side, so they were glued into the fuselage side. So coming out of the fuselage was a grommet. This is not that critical because we're going to have fillets in there, so not a big deal. Now what I need to do is ascertain which side I want to be the top of this. It's straight, but let's see which one has the best. Pretty much both the same, so just leave it as is. We're going to slide this in there. So this This will be the top. Like I said, I don't know, we'll turn this over, I guess. I'm gonna force them down until they're sitting right on the trailing edge, so everything's gonna be 3/16 off the. God, I hate CA bottles. Can't keep them on the bench; they keep dropping off. Okay, eyeball the center, and we're gonna make a clearance notch right here. So we can get full swing. Yeah, that's more than enough. All right, that part's done. Now the fun part. Seeing as I'm not at John's and I can't use a saw, and I have to do everything by hand. So I would like to use light ply. Or basswood. Let's see, do I have basswood handy? Basswood would be good because it's soft. Here again, wasn't prepared. Could have swore I had the basswood out. The basswood spar out for this measuring. I don't know if I want to use that or not. Yeah, let me move this off into the couch so I can dig for the basswood. Let's see here. Yeah. That ain't it. Yep. There we go. All right, this is basswood, 1/8 inch. Gonna be plenty. So, set this up here. Basswood sand's a lot easier than anything else too. Like I say, the only problem is I'm gonna have to caveman it. I could use my saw, my jigsaw. That's probably what we'll do. What I tell you guys not to do. Gotta do what you gotta do. So we got the clips traced out. Yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna whack that off with my bandsaw or my jigsaw. Let's see, I'm gonna have 1, 2, yeah, I'll have enough to get the compression spars out of this. If you come on, you really add up what's in a model airplane, there's a lot of money in it. This piece here is $1.85. I mean, not a big deal, but you wouldn't think, well, there's not much money in an airplane. Shit, each piece is $2 to $10. It ain't like it used to be when I was a kid. Okay, I don't think I can cut on this. I'll try it. All I'm doing is cutting it down to something a little more manageable. Okay. Okie dokie. Get rid of this. Need this. Right now, it'd be nice to have my utility knife. But this will work. We'll get her. I could have cut them rib parts here because I did the inboard or the outboard side with that saw, but it's pretty dangerous to do what I just did. Hold it up and kind of fiddle around. Get it close and then I'll sand it. Actually, the plywood's going to be even tougher. Maybe I'll use 64th on there. Well, that's odd. Never had that happen before. Zona saw handle pull off. China just don't make shit like they used to. Okay, here we have a blank. Didn't take long. So, it's just proud a little bit, probably pencil thickness, and that's how you want it. So now I need to cut the slot in it. Here again, Eyeball the center, eyeball the center. So that's only 3/32 wire, so I need a 3/32 drill bit, or maybe the next size up. .332, yeah. I sure don't seem like 332. That feels like 1/8. It is. This is 332 here. It's still not 332. We can't see a damn thing. This is the next size up from 332. Okay, we'll use this one. Now if I can find a drill. Just going to guess about the length of that. And we'll use the saw again. Yeah. No room. It's like working in Dan's workshop. I doubt I can do that. Not even going to try. I'll cut it with a blade. No dancing girls today. 9 thumbs up, 18 watchers. Need to get some more thumbs up. I can't see Julie and Dan watching me today, but they might be. Anyway, there's the beginning of a clip right there. It's just deep enough. Not only that, when we get it done, I can run the drill bit in there a little bit, but it's deep enough. You're welcome, Gary. Okay, so here's the first part of the clip, one clip. Let's get a piece of wood here. We're going to use 64th. I don't see that I'm going to need any more than 64th. I just can't. Considering I have some airplanes that don't even have these in, I don't see why I would need any more than 64th. Okay. Get the glue back. You're more than welcome, Gary. Okay, I don't know what this clip is going to weigh, but I think it's going to be worth it. You know what? Let's trim that puppy up a little bit. Now, Tom Morris, he sells these parts if you don't want to make them, or Oki Air sells them. One of the two. I don't know who's doing what anymore. I'm kind of out of it. Weight boxes and horns and stuff. Got some good plans on building my own foam cutter. Okay, great. Ain't nothing to it. All right. Unless you got that contraption like Dan's got, then it's a little more complicated. All right, here's the basic clip now. And we'll just sand the plywood off down to the basswood. I try to get them. The videos that were brilliant. Thank you, and definitely inspired me to get back into the flying. If I get some wood and bits, I will let you know if it's what I like. If you want more, oh yeah. Right, lost foam jigs, yeah. Yeah, if you get good wood, let me know and I'll buy some. I have many friends looking for good wood. Because most guys, they're not as particular on wood as I am. I was hoping my friend could come up with some other stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. He's supposed to let me know, and I gotta get some wood for Jim Lynch yet. I'm thinking about Jim. Okay. I want some billy wood is what I want. Where do you get that at? He gets the 1 pound wood, the unobtainium stuff. Okay, now that you got this clip made, you got to relieve it for the horn. So you take your drill, you drill down through there. I think I'm going to step down a little bit for the long ways. That way it fits a little better. Okay. Now you know the reason why I cut that slot in there. There is absolutely no way that you would drill that hole perfectly down through the center of that without cutting a slot in it. You might if you had a mill. It would just be a lot of work to set up for nothing. I think Tom Moore sells these for about $2-3 a piece. If they were exactly what I was, looking for, it'd be well worth it. Because it takes more than $2 or $3 worth of time to make them, let alone the material. But normally when I build something, nothing ever fits. So everything's custom. So that notch right there allows the relief for the turn. So now we're going to take this and zero this on there. This is 1, so it goes on that side. Yeah, that's what I designed it for. I'm thinking I better not put any CA on that phone or else I'll have holes in it. That's leaning a little bit. We don't want that. Plus, I'm going to need to mark this, so we'll mark it 1 right there. Okay. Another thing that's kind of important is this angle right here has to be 90 degrees. Otherwise, the horns will bind. 90 degrees and square on the end. I'll try to be anyway. Let's see here. Still need to go a little more. There we go. If it ain't right, stop and do it right. Don't go on. Because this hinging process All right, Alexander, that'd be great. Scotland, and not as. They don't have balsa wood trees in Scotland, do they? That's what I need. Is I need the inside source so I could be the Frank Lucas of balsa wood. Okay, so this is top. Everybody know who Frank Lucas was? Probably not. Pretty obscure name. Michael Francis was just talking about him. Anybody know who Michael Francis is? Captain of Colombo crime family. Sometimes they're different aerodynamically. These last 1, 2, 3 airplanes, and this will be the 4th, will all be the same aerodynamically. The reason being is I like the numbers. I found a combination that works really well. Oh, that'd be great. Well, get a hold of me on the forum and we'll discuss the details, Alexander. I like the way that this airplane flies aerodynamically. So I'm kind of stuck with these numbers because it only took forever to find the right numbers. And I built all kind of stuff, but I am going to do some other changes as I go. This airplane is proof and concept to try to get the PA-75 to work, to fly like I like it. The motor, nobody can complain about the way the motor runs. It's just a weight for me. See how nice that sanded out smooth? Can't feel it. My plan is to glue a piece inside so we can get the of course you wouldn't have to. I don't know, may do it different than. So here I have a lot to move. I'm going to try to get away without scuffing up the trailing edge with some 80 grit. No, we ain't gonna get away with it. It'll be tough. Let's do this side here. So it's taking an hour to do one side. But you got to think about it. What else would you be doing? You know, besides build model airplanes. Of course, there's always shoveling snow, mowing the lawn, putting the roof on it, picking up dog turds. You know, all the fun stuff in life. If I were to build my plane, 40 size engine. Yeah, 40 would be enough. 40, some 40s, some powerful 40s are good enough for 60-inch wingspans. All depends on what you like and what you want to build around. But like a PA-40 rear exhaust, that'll pull a big airplane. Just doesn't pull it with the authority that a 75 or 61 or a 65 has, but it'll pull it. If you're talking about a Fox 40, no. Oh, God, this is going to take several sandings, I can see, to get perfect. And you guys know how much I like perfect. Want to sand that until you can't feel it. OSLA 40. Why not just do a 46? Good afternoon, Fred. What thinner product do you use to clean up the dope? Not actual tin. Yeah, you don't want to use Randolph thinner as cleanup thinner. Where I work, we have about a paint booth and truck painting stalls, and they order generic thinner. It's $40 for 5 gallons. So if you could get 40 gallons for $10, it would be better. So what I'm saying is that any cheap thinner, any cheap lacquer thinner, it doesn't matter. Just don't use it in the paint. Yep, so the thinner I use is $40 for 5 gallons. So what's that work out about? $8.75 or something like that a gallon. Let's see here. 5 divided by 4 is 8. About $8. 40. Oh, wait a minute. 8. 40. That ain't right either. 5 gallons divided by 40. That ain't right either. Can't remember how to do that. 8 points times 5. 43. So it's about $8.50 a quart. $8.50 a gallon. Nope, 8 1/4. I don't know, $8 a gallon. This is for the thinner, somewhere in there. So it's real low grade stuff, real crap. You don't need good stuff for cleanup. Acetone works, whatever. Let's see, LA40 is what you have. Okay. Yeah, 55 inches. You could probably get away with 55-inch airplane. Just design your own. There ain't nothing to it. You don't need a kit. I think I've shown enough now how to figure out how to use a shoe for an airfoil and ruler for numbers. Lay it out on the wood. That's what these exercises are for that I do. You'll notice I never use a set of plans for anything. Yeah, I might look at some, but I don't have a plan. It's just, what do I plan on doing? I plan on cutting some wood, putting it together, and getting it flying. That's the wood. That's the plan. That side came out perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, just any lacquer thinner. Acetone works. You're not painting with it, so it doesn't matter. You're just cleaning the gun up. You don't want to use that $50 a gallon thinner. Don't buy into that theory of 3608S. Yeah, great. Makes the dope cloudy. It may have worked for lacquer, but it don't work for Randolph. Of course, here again, somebody said, well, I do it all the time. Well, knock yourself out. Not for me. Okay, where are we at here? Now, the other one's a little more tricky, the other side. We have to make it and shim it, which is okay. That is one, and this is one. God, dusted me. Yeah. If that ain't slick, I don't know what to tell you. Let me get a drink of water here. Yep, any lacquer thinner for cleanup. You guys got any questions on what I've done so far? I mean, pretty simple stuff. Got my squadron shirt on today, VF211. Checkmates. Except this iteration of this logo is different than when I was in, because I was in before they had this dog. It was three jets going up. They just made it look better with this dog or whatever. I guess they changed over to VMFA or whatever. I don't know. We were just plain VF. What happened to the drill bit now? Of course, I didn't put it back in its hole. And it's flipped off on the floor. Yep, of course. Gotta chase it around looking for it. There it is. So I'll put this back so we can find it. Clean up the mess a little bit. Make another clip. We've been on an hour, so it took me an hour to make that clip. Can you show the control horn? Well, certainly. Oh. That's the control horn. That's the setup. You'll find no freer hinges anywhere than these. And when you're putting these together, I will spend as much time as it takes. I'll get the other one done here, but I will spend as much time as it takes until these flop without any, I had to push it there until they flop like that, both of them. They got to flop both ways. And nothing's rubbing. That's a big important thing. Nothing's rubbing. So here I have this. Let's see how close we are. Pretty close. Pretty close. Does that answer your question, Chris? You want me to take the elevator off and show you? The elevator horn is in a set of hinges going this direction. Does the offset better than the straight one? Well, the kink in it allows you, so you don't have to cut a big slot in the stab, so you can get full travel. That's all. If it was straight, you couldn't get full travel without cutting a big notch in it. That's the only reason why it's there. So like I say, the hinges on the horn go into the stab, and the hinges on the, well, I guess they all work the same, but they mount up different. They're all going the same direction. They just mount different. Which is not a big deal. Remember, guys, if it ain't easy, you ain't doing it right. I tell you what, I've been on an hour. I want to take a break. I'll be back, I don't know, a couple hours maybe. I'll get this done. It's just repetition. I'll do that one off camera. We'll get to the wing later on this evening and wrap the weekend up, and I'll see you on Tuesday after that. But I will be back later on in the afternoon here to work on the wing. But this is redundancy. You don't need to see me make another horn clip and install it. You guys can dream up some questions or whatever you'd like to see something. All this stuff is actually pretty simple for me. And hopefully I can explain it. A lot of guys struggle doing this. It's really simple. Just takes practice. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Yeah, I'll show that later when the wing's ready to go. All right, see you in a bit, guys.